Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving back into the 10-star against KIZUNA Clash PERONA with the Marco teams to get you guys at EXP. So the first variation is against Dex. That was the team, those sports. Let's dive in. Now, not much has really changed with this particular team. I do think I slapped on the Mr. 3 support on Bullet just because I was having a bit of issues with, like, getting the cooldowns and utilizing the super class at the right time. Now remember, with this particular variation, you do not want to use the super class on turn 1. Very important that you do not use it on turn 1, otherwise you won't get the correct amount of cooldowns for the final stage. So I do want to reiterate that, do not use the super class on turn 1 against the Dex variation. However, on turn 2, we do want to use our friend captain. Remember, on the final stage, you get binded on your top, left, bottom, left, middle, right. So you do want to activate it on this turn and use your friend captain. You get despaired on stage 2, and that's a big reason why you don't want to activate the superclass on turn 1, because you will not get the auto trigger. It's very, very annoying. I hate it, but that's the way it is. On turn 2, we're going to switch with Rayleigh Gaban to remove the special bind. We have supports to get rid of the despair of Wipe It and Morley. And as you guys can see there, we can switch with the Straw Hat crew to give ourselves type advantage and just easily kill on that stage. Onto the final stage now, up against PERONA. She's going to give us bind, as I mentioned, and she also gives us a full board of block slots. We don't get the double auto trigger from Marco because, unfortunately for us, we do only get we do only get the one because the other captain gets blinded. We're going to use the other superclass. This should give Bullet his cooldowns. If you don't have Limit Break expanded, then that's where the Mr. 3 support comes into play. If you guys don't have the Mr. 3 support, you do need to use Bonavista here. Otherwise, you are going to get that interrupt, that very, very annoying interrupt that allows you to get the orb manipulation on the final stage. So, like, after level 30, you'll get super block orbs if you rotate orbs. So, utilizing Bonavista on Bullet is going to be the wave there to give yourself a forward of matching orbs through block. And then that way, Sengoku actually won't trigger that. So, just be mindful of that if you are running this particular team. You have to be very diligent, and then you can't use the Mr. 3 support. But for now, up to level 30, it will work absolutely fine. You have orb boosting with Sengoku. You have attack boosting with Marco. It should work up to level 30, maybe a little bit past it. But look, Marco teams should really only get you to level 30 and a little bit past it. But there it is. On to the next fight. Alright, so moving on to the side variation now. And this one will only work up to level 30. Now, I put another picture on the right-hand side that might work past level 31. I'm not 100% sure if it will. But it does cover all the bases. It's just all about having the damage at that particular point. I totally spaced on having stuff like a Luffy support for Sanji. Putting Kaido on the correct side was a bit of a problem. And then getting around all the shenanigans that way. So, with this team, it'll definitely work up until level 30. You can even bring Chopper back instead of Luffy and Boa. That's going to give you better color affinity. It's going to give you resistance down for cerebral characters. But with this particular build, you are going to get color affinity for all your Imp characters. So that's always fun there. But nevertheless, like I said, it works up to level 30. And usually with Marco teams, that's really where you draw the line. And super bosses, it does get a little bit hard to use Marco teams, because you do want to try and pump out runs as quickly as possible. But, like I said, there's a team on the right there that you guys can see. It should work past level 31. As you guys saw, we used the superclass of Marco on turn 1, so that way we get the auto trigger on turn 2. We do come up against Boa, who has resilience and has damage reduction. So to get around that, we have Robin and Jinbei once again. And then to get around the resilience with this team, we have the ace support on Marco. For the other team, as you can see, we're using Akainu. He's going to give us burn, and that's basically how we're going to get around it over there. But like I said, for this team, the goal here is to use the support ace. And remember, this team will only work if you have your Marco Limit Break expanded. Otherwise, you will fall just short of the cooldowns. You won't be able to get the ace support to trigger, and then you will be in for a very bad time. But the burn, it gets to the resilience. Robin and Jinbei get around the damage reduction, and it all works out pretty hunky-dory from there. On the final stage, you get the debuff that only allows you to use 2 specials, so that's why having the new treasure map Kaido works so exceptionally well. The new Kaido has the limit break that will give you we'll basically remove that, so you don't have to worry about it, and allows you to use more than 2 specials. and you really want to make sure you can do that because the damage null goes up to 2 turns after level 30, which means you'll have to use the Sanji special twice to remove that, otherwise you'll be in for a bad time. Sanji needs a Luffy either as a support or on the team to get that ability, so make sure you have a Luffy, whether it's a support character or it's on the team, like we have with Luffy and Boa. And then finally, Luffy and Boa are actually going to be our color affinity booster, which works out quite nicely here. Kaido gives himself an orb boost, but you could definitely do something with the lore support, as you guys can see over there. And he also gives himself a 1 orb, which makes it very easy to kill here as well. So that was the Marco team versus Sai. It was incredibly challenging to get this one to work, but look, we managed to get it done. It's not optimal, but it definitely works. And the final variation is the quick variation. This one is, like, by far the easiest to build for. Like, I didn't have any problems building for this. It didn't have any problems after level 30, if I remember correctly. At least off the top of my head, I don't remember having any problems. So, with this particular team, we are using the KIZUNA recruit, not KIZUNA recruit, the KIZUNA 5+ Chopper. Is he a 5+? I think he's a 5+. He might just be a 5-star unit. He works exceptionally well, and then we have, like, Luffy, and we have Marco. The big change from the prep video, I do believe, is I had Rush Sanji. I did change Rush Sanji for Sai Sanji because there is a 2-hit Wano orb barrier on the final stage. I thought it was a I thought it was a 1-turn 2-1. 1-turn 2 Wano barrier. Wow, that is really hard to say. However, it's a 2-turn 1 Wano barrier, so very annoying stuff there. But Sanji can actually remove the barrier, so that works out quite nicely. As you guys can see on turn 2, Rob and Jimbo, they literally take care of stage 2 easy peasy. They work exceptionally well. They're a cerebral because they're a fighter, they get boosted, it just works out nice. We have the auto trigger of Marco, and we can kill Robin and Koala here. I would say no issues whatsoever, but look, they have a lot of HP, so yeah. On to the final fight against PERONA now. PERONA is going to give us a full board of unfavorable slots, or just random slots, I guess. 6 turns of attack down, which is super annoying. And she has that Wano orb barrier, that 1 Wano orb barrier for 2 turns. So for this team, I put Rakuya on Marco, so that way you can use the super type and then also the super class and then use the special to get the cooldowns. Luffy's giving cooldowns too. You can use the Brûlé support if you don't have the Sabo support. You have some options there, which works out quite nicely. And then we have color affinity with Chopper, orb boosting with Luffy, chain boundary with Sanji, as well as removing the damage null, if I remember correctly as well. So that's super nice. We also have Vivi for resistance as well, and as you guys will see here, we have quite a bit of damage, so it works out quite nicely. So there you guys go. That's the EXP Marco teams, as always, coming in clutch for your EXP gains. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go down that bell, like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's